Alrighty, so now we're going to prepare an eggplant or an aubergine and some courgettes or zucchini for grilling later. So take off the ends and just do about 1/2 centimeter slices. Alrighty, so there's our eggplant. Take a courgette, take the ends off, same thing, 1/2 centimeter slices. Alrighty, so now I'm going to get a casserole dish and show you the next step. Casserole dish here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some paper towel, I'm going to line it, take some Himalayan pink salt, grind that down over the paper towel. Now I'm going to start taking my eggplant, place it down in there, on top of the salt. Get some courgettes in there. Maximize space. Take my pink salt again. Put a layer over the top. Take some more paper towel, put it over. Now what the salt is going to do, it's going to leach the moisture out of the eggplant and the courgette, and the paper towel will then soak it up. So that way we don't have watery, waterlogged vegetables, you know. So paper towel, more salt down, another layer. Well, I'm excited for all this food. First barbecue of the season. Another layer of paper towel. Push that down, tuck it in, get it all nice and neat. Now I'm going to take a baking dish, I'm going to put it over, and I'm going to take a couple heavy cookbooks. Julie Childs, Jamie Oliver, and just throw that on there. The weight will help press out the moisture. So this is good. I'm going to leave this for a couple hours, get as much moisture as I can out. And next, I'm going to start draining my pork belly and show you how to make the barbecue sauce. Alrighty. Alright, so here we've got the marinated pork belly, and as you can see, oh, it's just taken on so much of that color from the marinade. The flavor's really gotten in there, nice and good. So what we're going to do is we're going to take it out, we're going to put it on this baking tray with a rack in it so that it can drain, because we don't want it too wet. So here we go. Get all the little bits of seeds out, and garlic bits, as much as you can. Just give it a quick run through all the slices with your finger. Oh, look at that. Gorgeous. Oh, it smells so good. So there, now we have it. resting on a rack, and we're going to let that drain for a while, at least an hour. So we'll cover this with a clean kitchen towel so there no flies or anything can get to it. And I put that aside to drain. So now, I bet you're wondering, what do I do with all this? Do I just toss it out? No. What we're going to do is we're going to use this to make an amazing barbecue sauce to finish it off with towards the end. Nice glaze. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a big saucepan. I'm going to move over to the stove and we're going to put this in it and we're going to start cooking it down. Alrighty, see you in a second. Okay, so I've got a big saucepan. Put the heat up to high. I'm going to take my tray of marinade. Pour that in there. Scrape out all the fennel and pepper and seeds and everything. And I've got the heat on high, so I'm going to let this come to a boil and do some dishes while it's coming to a boil, get cleaned up, and I'll get back to you in a moment. Alrighty, so we've taken our brine and we've brought it to a boil now. So I'm going to turn down the heat. Alrighty, so I'm going to take a handheld blender, stick it in, and be careful, don't have it on, I have it on the lowest setting. I mean, this is boiling hot, so you don't want it splashing everywhere. So chopped up. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to sieve it so we have a nice smooth sauce. Just press that down, work it around. Get the last of it out. Just gonna press this now, get all the juice out of it. Take that aside. We're going to take our pot from before. It's been cleaned. We're going to pour this nice, smooth, silky liquid back in here. And I'm going to bring it to a boil again. Alrighty, back in a second. Alrighty, so we've got it at a nice boil after having sieved it. So I'm going to turn off the heat, I'm going to turn on the back burner to the lowest setting, mark 1, and I'm going to move it to the back burner. And once that ring heats up, it'll simmer and reduce. Let's just see. it's so sweet and earthy. That fennel and the caraway really come through, and then the apple cider comes in afterwards. You get the onion, the garlic, the black pepper. Oh, once this reduces and it's nice and syrupy, this is going to be so good as a dipping sauce. I'm going to let that simmer for a bit. We have our eggplant being pressed and the moisture dried out of it. We've got the pork belly drip draining. I'm going to leave that there for a while. In about an hour, 2 hours, once it's, you know, all the marinade is dripped out of it, for the most part, not all of it, but the excess, I'm going to do a dry rub on it. And then leave that sit for another little bit, and then we'll get the grill fired up and get working on things. Alrighty, I'm gonna go finish cleaning up here in the kitchen, go outside, do some yard work since the weather's nice and everything, and then I'll get back to you guys in a little bit. Alrighty, hang tight, bye. Alrighty everyone, so we've got this marinade reduced to a good amount, about down to just a little bit under a cup. But to turn it into a sauce, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some plain flour, a tablespoon, and I want to sift it over. Now I'm going to turn the heat up to about mark 4 out of 6. And I'm going to bring it to a boil. And the flour, it's going to thicken out so we have a nice dipping sauce. So just make sure you take a whisk. Get all that flour mixed up nicely. You definitely want to sift it. Helps break it up. So we'll leave that for a sec. Now as you're heating this, once the flour's in, you want to make sure to keep stirring it so that it doesn't burn. We want a nice rolling boil to happen just for a moment. There we go, it's bubbling nice and good. So we're going to keep stirring it. Turn the heat down. Stir it. We're going to put it on the back burner again. Keep it on the lowest setting. And that's going to thicken up nicely. Alrighty, so we have our pork belly and it's been drying. So not much juice came out. So what we're going to do is empty that juice out quickly. And now I have 2 different rubs here. I have a chipotle rub, and chipotle, that's a mix of different herbs and spices. So basically in here is Himalayan pink salt, chipotle chili powder, garlic powder, sugar, smoked paprika, onion powder, cilantro, oregano. In here we have a sweet rub, so what's in here is dark brown sugar, onion powder, garlic powder, cinnamon, ginger powder, and that's it. So what we're going to do is we're going to split this little puppy in half. Alright, so we'll put one bit aside. We're going to take the sweet rub, just get it all over the place, in between the cracks. This is going to caramelize so nice. Get it on the side. I'm making a bit of a mess here, but I'll clean it up so it's okay. And just rub it in there. Make sure you get it all over it. Give it a good rub. gonna be amazing. Alrighty, gonna set that one aside. I'm gonna clean this up real quick. A little bit extra there, so I can do the other rub. Alrighty, clean surface. Take the other piece of the pork belly. Take my chipotle seasoning. Oh, I love chipotle. Get it everywhere in the crevices. Yeah. Make sure you get it in there everywhere. Flip it over. Give it a nice massage into the back. Oh my goodness. I should have kept a face mask on this stuff. This will really agitate the nose. Don't sneeze. Yeah. If you ever need to sneeze, just sniff some chipotle powder. It's a grill chef. Got it at Woody's. Did a bunch of smoking last year with it. Unfortunately, I don't think they use rust-proof paint on the outside, but anyways, I'll have to take care of that later on in the year. So I've got some charcoal in here. This side, it's a smoker, but you can use it for grilling too. I'm going to use this for grilling the vegetables, and this side I'll use mostly for the pork belly, but then there'll be room for vegetables as well. So we have a bit of lighter fluid here. Give it a nice squirt. Get it nice and moist. I'm gonna get my stick going, because you don't want to be sticking your hand in there. So get it lighting. Alright, that's lit. And I'm also gonna start a little fire in my fire pit. Because as you can see the pile there and the chainsaw, I've had a hard day of lumberjacking. And I've got tons of wood. And it is summertime, so nothing says summer like a fire pit in the backyard and a grill. And they're both cooking along now. So I'm going to leave the doors open for a bit until everything gets going. And for the pork belly, what we want the coals just as they're coming down from their peak. So we're going to let this burn away for a little bit until all the coals are fully white. You know, you want to wait until the coals are white. You don't want them when they're still black, because then you're still getting, you know, burn off emissions from the coal, and you don't want that getting into your food or anything. So we want to wait until the coals are white hot, and then once they're white hot, once they've reached that peak and they're starting to cool down, then we're going to start the cooking. So that's that for now. It's going to take a little while for this to heat up, and I'll get back to you from there. Alrighty. So we have our courgettes, aka zucchini, and aubergine, aka eggplant. It's been drying out all day, so we're gonna take them all out. Ooh, that one just disappeared. And just look at how wet these are. The paper towels, that'll tell you how much moisture's come out of these vegetables. Just gave this casserole dish a quick rinse. Gonna dump the veggies back in here. Now I'm gonna give a good lathering of olive oil. And I'll use olive oil for this, like I used safflower oil earlier for the Texas caviar. But for eggplant and zucchini or aubergine and courgettes, I want to use olive oil. Give a nice coating. Oh yeah. Oh, I love olive oil. Oh yeah. That's where it's at. Alright, so that's ready. Come here. Someone wants to be on camera. Say hi, Cole. Say hi. Alright, stay down. Let's call my sous chef. Alright. So we put the veg aside. Down. Alrighty, so charcoal's in the grill. We're almost ready. So we're going to take some aluminum foil and we're going to get the pork belly ready. So here's the chipotle. Fold up the edges, fold over the sides, tuck it in. Smells so good. Here's the sweet. Oh, that smells amazing. Alright, we've got those two packaged up. Chipotle, sweet, barbecue flavor. Just wait until the coals are finished heating up, and then we're going to throw this stuff on and get to cooking. All we got to do is just cook this for about half an hour, give or take. Grill the vegetables. Coleslaw is already done. Texas caviar is already done. Bam, we're ready to go. All right, I'll get back to you in a moment. Alrighty, we're around 2:25 now. So we're going to throw it on for 20 minutes. And we'll check back in a little bit. Alrighty, we're going to check on how things are doing. It's looking good. Let's turn it around. Oh, chipotle smells amazing. Open that up now. Threw the veg on here. So we've got the aluminum foil open now. Gonna let the crackling start rendering. We got the veggies on, letting them grill. Alrighty, we'll check back in a bit. Let's see how it looks. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. have our sweet flavor pork belly and our chipotle flavor pork belly. Just leave the rest of the charcoals burn out. And let's take this inside. Oh, that looks perfect. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, too hot. Oh, just look at that. It's cooked perfectly. Full of juice. Alrighty, I think it's time for dinner. We've got our Texas caviar.
Caviar?
Well, it's not real caviar. It's corn and it's beans and peppers and onions and garlic. It's called Texas caviar. Then we've got our
There's hot sauce
sweet
in this too,
coleslaw. There's a bit of chilies in it. There's only a little bit. We have our grilled eggplant and courgette.
Really dark. Is that the way it's meant to be?
Just because it's grilled. And then we have our sweet pork belly.
Sure.
Oh, look at that.
Is it well done?
Yes. Then we have our chipotle pork belly. And we got our barbecue sauce, which was made from the marinade that the pork belly
Is it hot too?
sat in. No, it's sweet. Look how thick that got. Nice, just like pure barbecue sauce you'd get in the store.
And we don't eat this part.
You can if you want to.
Yeah.
Yep. So here we go. We have our Texas caviar, our coleslaw, grilled aubergines and courgettes, chipotle pork belly with homemade barbecue sauce. All right, time to tuck in. Oh, it's just pure heaven.
That's right.
Look how flaky it is. But still juicy. Alrighty, folks. I'm going to turn the camera off now and dig into this. Join me next time, and we'll see what we're cooking. Take care, and remember, dish is why I'm hot.